I'll be giving Soaring Sky Precure like number 4 on Crunchyroll's website as viewer number 4 because it has 3 likes and 0 dislikes. And now I'll be starting my reaction in 1-0 go. Because even though, yes, these episodes of Soaring Sky Precure have been the series at its worst, it's been able to pop up some decent watches here and there. Oh, those birds are they're adorable. love I love how they animate creatures in this series. It always makes me go a little gaga. In the best possible way too. To boot. Ah, yeah, she's speaking a lot more proficiently now. That's cool. She's Your Majesty, yeah. Honestly, wouldn't want to do that again with Ellie. Oh, woo! Oh goodness. I thought for a second Masha was gonna trip, but then again, even if she tripped, she'll be fine. Still, though, tripping can hurt, so I didn't. Even if I knew she was gonna be able to, even if I know she'll be able to recover from it, it usually isn't nice seeing characters trip, unless it's a character I absolutely loathe. And in that case, if it's a character I loathe, I'll just absolutely be laughing at the fact that they trip. Straight up. But anyways, if this goes the usual round of Precures, it's only got 15 episodes left. This series has to somehow find a way of building up the Undergoo Empress while also not only building her up, but building up at least her last henchman. Hopefully, they can do something cool with that. That'd be pretty nice. At least these are the things I hope the last few episodes do because they need to do these things. To at least salvage itself a bit because if not, we're just going to have jokes as antagonists again. And that wouldn't really be the funnest thing ever, if you ask me. So I consider it's like the first modern day Precure series I've seen have good production values, at least in the 2020s, which is nah. That's cute. All right, cool. At least now we know what Yo-Yo has been showing up and the important stuff she's been doing behind the scenes, which is cool. Because it even makes the supporting characters in the series a little bit more active, which is always a plus. Because they didn't have things like this that make it feel like the characters just sitting on their behinds doing absolutely nothing, and that'd be a little disappointing. Ellie. Oh, I'm gonna guess that power could also be probably spread out to all the other girls and they'll unlock another new transformation. I love the way he sounds on it. That's cute, man. Ah, like Ellie just brings that energy. That's always fun to see. It's Ellie. Usually, it is whenever she gets going, it usually gets real mighty tough to stop that momentum. But how many times have they partaken in dangerous activities, though? They can just transform into Verticures, though. Yeah, even Ellie's sounding confused. Wait, why not? She's the key to all this. I mean, she's gotta have faith in Ellie, though. The thing is, though, Ellie's the key to saving the day. She kind of has to get involved now. I mean, it's proven that they can do. They need her exactly, and they can't beat the foes ahead of them without Ellie. They need her. The only thing Ellie understands is that she's needed. Yeah, I'm with the gap completely. Like the thing is, though, she wants. I could say no. All right, good, good. She's coming around. She's coming around. I mean, most people wouldn't be able to say no to Ellie, though. I mean, don't get me wrong. Montreal's concerns, they're justified, but they don't have the luxuries of not bringing Ellie because they cannot take on the remaining opposition without her. Everyone left that they have to fight against, they've proven inadept to deal with unless they have Ellie there with them. Whew. That's pretty cool seeing the way that thing is moving. I think it's more the fact that she'll get an item that can spread around all the power. She's definitely watching a little bit too many tokusatsu. Because that's something you'd expect in those type of series. But can they really be? Can she really be thinking about that though? Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's always going to be a possibility of Ellie getting hurt, but they don't have luxuries anymore. They're gonna have to use everyone they can win. The only thing I don't like about this is the way Minaton went out. Like they wasted so many filler episodes of Minaton that it's a shame that he's become a puppet. I would have loved to have seen Minaton actually fight full force with his full power and then be controlled. But animation's amazing though. Like wow, they really are really going all in this week, and I love it. Oh man. Yeah, no, it has to be Ellie. It looks just like her when she's in her Kira Majesty form. And I kind of like this. I'm implying they could all be children chosen by destiny, going by those carvings, which is cool. I mean, hey, I'd say Yo-Yo did enough to at least guide him there, but now it's up to Ellen and the others to like get her done. I like her. I love. Oh, I swear, Ellie's voice actress is doing an absolutely fantastic job. Oh, okay, she knows a lot. Aww. I like how she really does react really like a baby too, like her age, because sometimes children get that pouty when they can't get things done. I was about to say just try having them all open out. Whoa! They're just gonna have to leave and figure out what to do with that book later because if you find a Minotaur accidentally set them up to get an extra power up, that'd be a funny way of sabotaging yourself if he actually ended up doing that. Now this scene would have tension, but we already seen them defeat Minotaur though when he was possessed in the previous episode. It's well animated at all. But right now, the problem with this episode's mostly good, but this episode lacks tension because we've seen all the girls alongside Ellie defeat Minotaur. Have and that's a darn shame. Now, if it was Minotaur alongside Gearhead, I love the new music for the transformation, though. It is cool. I love how the tense music leads a little bit into the transformation bits. But don't get me wrong, this is one of the prettiest looking episodes in Soaring Sky. Like, I'm digging the episode. I'm just saying it lacks tension because in episode 32, we saw all our girls alongside Ellie defeat Spearhead. Well, Spearhead when he was manipulating Minotaur. And then in episode 31, we saw Ellie push back Spearhead, someone that's stronger than Minotaur, even when Minotaur's possessed by herself. So that's why this specific bit lacks a little bit of tension. And obviously, Toy wants us to feel tension because the music's great, the animation's beautiful. Yes! I love when she says this white time. Woo! Yo, you can tell Ellie loves transforming. And I love this. It's majestic, just like herself. But no, that's what I have to mention about the lack of tension because it's like this. When you introduce an enemy that's been defeated before and they go up against the protagonist and the protagonists are stronger, it doesn't bring tension unless the specific enemy either got a power buff or if they trained at the very least or something. That's why I think maybe they should have had Minotaur show up with maybe Spearhead summoning something else to, so, like maybe also possessed Kabuton or something. That'd be cool having like both possessed brothers. Now, if they would have had that, oh man, that would be super tense. I'd be kind of scared. I'd be like, whoa. But who knows? Maybe Minotaur will have a power up. So you know what? I'm gonna wait, and I'll give the runners benefit of a doubt because it's just barely a bit more than halfway point. So there's gonna be yo, even the Smithsonian is running look really good. Oh, okay. So we got stronger because she was able to like match Minotaur's strength. Wow. That's cool. Utilizing their numbers to like confuse them is a badass. Whoa, there is so much shading on Ellie's body. Wow. Okay, now oh my goodness. Whoa. Oh man, my goodness. I love this too. Like she's always on guard. Okay. This resolves my concern. I'd imagine that I was kind of imagining there might be a power buff. Okay. So, okay, now this is how you make someone feel tense. Because earlier I was wondering how is he gonna stand a chance? Well, this definitely is one way of upping things up quite a bit here, actually. Oh, that's at least first instinct to want to show up and shield everyone. Oh, Masha. Yo, that's cool. And it fit into because Masha was being really protective of Ellie earlier. Whoa, that animation where you see all those blocks behind a gal when she gets punched and the braid destruction when Sora and Tsubasa gets punched is beautiful. Wow. And again, it's like the Underground Empress wants to lose because if Spearhead would have gone here, they would really guarantee their win. Again, this is a fun episode, but this represents the problem with Soaring Sky Precure. It's like, Underground Empress, do you want to lose? You really should have sent Scarehead alongside Minotaur to guarantee your win. Why? Why does the Empress make her life difficult? Again, this is a cool episode. It's really well animated, but I can't ignore that shabby writing there where it's like all of them are on the ropes, and there was no risk to the Underground Empress sending Scarehead alongside Minotaur powered up. Still, again, a cool episode. Until we could have avoided this, they could have had Scarehead get injured in a few episodes ago or something to at least give us an excuse why he's not showing up. But here, Scarehead looks completely healthy, uninjured. So there is literally no excuse narratively why Scarehead isn't here in this battlefield right now. There should be no excuse. But the animation staff in charge of this episode is carrying the writing. And Precure rears its ugly head on having like a really well written first half and a questionably written second half. This has become a habit of Soaring Sky Precure lately, ever since it hit the Minotaur mark. Mashiro. It's Mashiro right now that doesn't have her heart completely in it. I like this. This is actually natural conflict. Because it ain't just, okay, we'll punch something harder to win. They all have to be emotionally connected for there to be a win. They're going to have to think of something quick. That kind of makes sense because Mashiro does have like. I like how Sabasa's calling her out a bit. That's cool. Because I would have said the same thing too, but at the same time, oh. Yo, that's cool. And I love this because it's been Ellie being protected the whole series, and now she's essentially helping protect everyone else. That's awesome. If there's anything the series has done well, despite it having a bit of shabby running in some instances, they have made Ellie a legit good character. Like, because most of that baby or children, it usually feels forced. Like, take for example, the Doubles of Part Time in season two. The baby character there did not add that much to the narrative. Here, Ellie is one of the few things carrying this series on its back right now, to its credit. Aw, that's adorable. Yeah. Whoa. Okay. Okay. And that's just great. Like seeing this one where all their hearts come together. This is rewarding right here due to the buildup we had earlier. This episode, in my opinion, is like a work of art right here. It's probably, yes, there should probably be instances of writing here and there. Spearhead should have definitely been involved in this fight. It's good, Melly Bloom, but the Underground Empress is one of the most unintelligent villains I've ever seen. Like, this woman could have literally won herself and defeated all the Precures if she would have sent Powered Up Minaton and Spearhead to fight. But again, the Underground Empress wants to lose. It will be her fault. Now, don't get me wrong, this power up's cool. Like, Melly Bloom, so far, this episode has been good, but at the same time, it shows off all the ugly habits of Soaring Sky, where it's like, there's no excuse for Spearhead not to be there too. If he was here, he would have prevented these girls from getting the power up. He would have been able to defeat everyone, and he would have won. But we can't have villains that are too smart. We have to have villains that have the intelligence of an elementary schooler. No, that wouldn't even be fair because Ellie would probably be a smarter villain than the Underground person and everyone else. That have the intelligence of a toddler. There you go. Still, Majestic Halation is cool. I like the animation's perfect. I have no complaints about the animation. This episode's amazingly animated, but. And we get plot progression. Minaton was purified, which is cool. And I love that smile. It's your fault, Spearhead. If you knew all along, why didn't you join? Then why didn't you join the fight then? Why? Why? What the? I mean, don't get me wrong. This is a cool send-off for Minaton. That's cool and all, but why? Precure. I mean, this is still a good episode overall, but I can't call it great. It's just good. I mean, that's a beautiful smile from Ellie, though. Don't get me wrong. I like that. That's cool. I mean, this episode. I mean, this episode makes me happy and angry at the same time. Yeah, is the writing good though, Melly Bloom? That's what I'm asking. Is the writing good? Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure fans love it for the animation. I feel like I'm one of the few. Melly Bloom, I do not trust Predictor fans' judgments of writing. I don't. I don't. With the way they lift up this series and Heartcatch, I'm like, I don't know if I trust them. Their judgments of writing quality. This episode, okay, this episode was fun. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. They at least gave Minaton a better send off than the villain in the previous arc, which I'm not gonna name by name because they treated the villain in the second arc really badly. But my goodness, when are we gonna get a Precure villain that's competent, intelligent, smart? If Scary knew it was gonna happen, he literally said, "Oh, I knew this was gonna happen." All edgy, and I'm like, "Bruh, if you knew it was gonna happen, then why didn't you join Minaton and increase your chances of victory? Why? Why? That makes it worse. That makes it worse because that makes it worse because even the villain acknowledges that he knew it was gonna happen. So it's like, come on, dude, you could have guaranteed your odds of victory. You just want to lose. Your heart isn't into winning. Oh, that's Batamonda. Maybe. It looks like Batamonda. Yeah, Batamonda, Melibum. That's the one I'm talking about. Like, they did not give Batamonda a good send off. That looks like Batamonda in the preview, but regardless, Melody Bloom. Yeah, that's the disappointment about this episode. It's like, yeah, it's cool. I love how Minaton was at least written off the story at the very least, so that's cool. He's at the very least cuts things off in good terms. That's cool. He's purified. That's cool. Ellie goes through a lot of character development now, and you got. They don't. Malibu, the villains are terrible. None of them are well written at all. None of them. They're all terrible. They're all bad. Completely, except for Kabuton. Kabuton was just treated badly by the writers. But everyone else aside from Kabuton is terrible. Man. This series. But, I mean, this episode had cool elements. That's the thing. That's the thing that annoys me about this series. It's disappointing. Melody Bloom? That sounds like an excuse from the writers. That sounds like they're too lazy of making interesting villains. A villain doesn't need to have massive amounts of screen time to be good. The problem with that is, Melody Bloom, it's not the screen time. It's the actions. The villains are just dumb. That's not the issue. I think kids weren't interested in them, Melody Bloom, because the villains are dumb. That's all. They're dumb. Like, who watches this series and thinks, oh, yeah, the villains are smart? No. Nah, the writers, they're just making excuses for themselves. That's an excuse. That is an absolute big excuse from the writers. If that's their excuse for not having the villains have more screen time. Which, my issue with the villains ain't the screen time. It's their lack of brains. They have no brains at all. They don't. They're about as smart as a sack of potatoes. Holy cow. Hell, I see more intelligence from school dropouts than these villains. Holy cow. Man. Holy cow. That's what makes it. Yeah, and I even made that comment too. Remember my comment to Melody Bloom when I said that even a toddler has more intelligence than them? I said that when Ellie was doing her attack. I even mentioned it too. At first I said middle schoolers are smaller than elementary schoolers. I don't remember if I said it was either elementary or middle schoolers. And then I was like, oh no, my bad. That's an insult for their intelligence. Even a toddler is smarter than them. It is. That's a Melody Bloom. This series is never going to be great. At best, Soaring Sky is just slightly above average. It's enjoyable. And it's not the worst Precure. So that's the sad part. Soaring Sky Precure is the best Precure of the modern era. That's how low the bar for Precure is. The bar for Precure is that low where it's like, yeah, Soaring Sky has all these problems, but it's still the best Precure in the 2020s era. I'm like, Precure, how have you fallen so much where, yeah, you're the best of the modern era, but that's not really much of a compliment, though. No, because I haven't seen all the characters. I don't know all the characters. I'm only going to watch a movie where I've seen all the Precures, so. If Hirogaru Sky has a single Precure I've never seen before, I'm not watching it. It needs to have all. I'll watch it live if it has all the Precures I've seen. If it doesn't have any Precures I've never seen, I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to touch it if it has a Precure that I haven't seen before. If it has like all the teams, like if it has up to Healing Good to the newest, then I'll watch it. But if it has all the Precures, I'm not bothering because it's too much. Yeah, not enough continuity. Like, because I know they're their own separate universe. So yeah, that it needs to have just the teams I've watched. If it has just the teams I've watched, I'll watch it. That's why I haven't seen any of them, because all the ones that I've seen come out have had teams, at least one team that I didn't watch yet. So yeah. And I'd react to the Precure movie. I wouldn't just watch it. I'd react to it. I would probably give it such critiques too. Knowing me, but I'll find something wrong with it. Like, I'll just be here with high expectations, and then I'll be like, hey, what's this? What's this? I'll notice it. Well, that's what happens when you watch too many, what's it called? I watch a lot of Magical anime, Melody Bloom, so I eat Magical anime for breakfast. I watched. Oh, that's pretty cool, Melody Bloom. That's funny, actually. I think I would actually like that joke. That actually sounds like my cup of tea. But regardless, though, When it comes to this episode, I mean, this episode, it was still fun. I mean, the action was great. I love the action. And again, I do like Masho's character development where she completely accepts Ellie fighting alongside them. I actually do like how it took a full episode for that because, yeah, Masho can be overly protective. And I love how they show that as a flaw in this episode. And then afterwards, they resolved it. That was cool because that was something spread out throughout the whole season. So that's what made the episode good. Yeah, Scarehead may have been an absolute fool that lacked anything resembling intelligence or critical thinking abilities, but I did appreciate the character development at the very least. So that's why this episode, yeah, this episode had problems. It, at the very least, had positives, though, going for it. And that's why I liked the episode overall, actually. Despite the problems, though. Because if it wasn't for the problems, the episode would have been a 10 out of 10 straight up. Like, it would have been easily a 10 out of 10. But, no, it isn't. I mean, yeah, the episode was enjoyable if you ignore the fact that Scarehead's a complete fool. If you No, the character development was good. You just have to ignore the fact that Scarehead is an idiot. If you ignore the fact that Scarehead's an idiot, then it's an enjoyable episode. But if your brain turns on, then yes, it will definitely affect your enjoyment like it did me. And then I have a friend who's watching this and and oh my goodness, he doesn't like the series because straight up he sees all the flaws and they're deal breakers for him, but he's championing through all the episodes though. Champion through all of them. Yo. If I were to ever bring him for a video medley bloom, I would look like an optimist in comparison to him. I would look like an absolute. Oh no, it does medley bloom because if you're not a big Metro Girl anime fan like me, you're gonna hate it because my friend, he's already on episode 30 of Soaring Sky Precure. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like Madoka. He does like Gear though, but yeah, if there's any flaws that he doesn't like, he'll rip it apart completely. If I were to ever bring a video, if I were to bring him into a video medley boom, oh my goodness, chaos. He would rip Madoka a new one. He likes Gear and Sailor Moon. He likes Gear and Sailor Moon. He likes those two. And Madoka does have legit flaws. Let's just be real with Madoka. And Madoka, Homura makes a lot of questionable decisions. You've got the tragedy bait with Mammy getting off in episode 3. That's tragedy bait. They don't even make Mammy a character. He's like, this is just emotional manipulation. Like, they just... That's the issue I have with Madoka. He said the only good character there was just Kyoko. That's it. Oh, he thought Homura was okay. Not a big fan of Madoka's passiveness. Yeah, he wasn't a big fan of Madoka. And, yeah. But anyways, back on topic, though, yeah. He would definitely I would look like an optimist in comparison. But regardless, yeah, I saw it. It looks fun. It definitely looks fun. I cannot wait to see that, actually. Yeah, it looks well animated and all that. I'm definitely going to be watching that when it comes out. That's for sure. Because I just want to see some Kyoko greatness. She's definitely my favorite character in the series. And then all the Oshinoko fans were silent. I've definitely heard about Oshinoko falling off a cliff. I was right about Akka. I'm just saying it all to y'all Oshinoko fans. I was right about Akka again. Everyone's saying Oshinoko slow now, the manga. That's not the only thing, Melody Bloom. A lot of people are saying Aka's like rushing through the drama now. I haven't read the manga myself, but they say he's rushing through things now. He's underutilizing characters like Akane and Kana, apparently. I'm like, I called it! I called it because he did the same thing in Kaguya-sama Love is War. He did the same thing to Miko and Ishigami, and he wasted them. I was right. I was like, they really thought Aka was going to avoid the same mistakes that he did in Kaguya-sama Love is War. I ended up being, and this is why I'm a pessimist, Melly Bloom. This is why I'm a pessimist. I ended up being right. I didn't want to be right. I wanted to be like, oh yeah, maybe. Oh no, I never believed for a second Aka was going to learn from his mistakes in Kaguya-sama Love is War. I was like, nah, that ain't happening. Most manga writers do not learn from their mistakes. Most of them. Some of them do, like Yoshio Togashi. He obviously learned from his mistakes. That's why Hunter x Hunter is so great. But let's just be real, though. Most authors don't learn from their mistakes. Just look at Suishida. A lot of people aren't talking about his newest manga. You've got the writer of Love Hina. Look how much of a disaster piece Negima was, and then he made it even worse than UQ Holder. Then you've got Kaguya-sama Love is War. I don't see anything learning from mistakes. Boruto Kishimoto doubled down on all of his mistakes. Everyone thought the female characters in Naruto were bad. He's like, hold my sake. I'll make female characters even worse. Yeah. Melly Bloom, this is why I'm a pessimist, because manga writers, most of them don't learn from their mistakes. Even light novel writers don't learn from mistakes. Just look at Fruits of Evolution, then the light novel that the same writer did afterwards, where he made all the same mistakes, having a broken protagonist with overbroken abilities. Yeah. This is why, Melly Bloom, I'm a pessimist, because don't feel bad, Melly Bloom, because if you knew half these series, you'd be a pessimist like me. It's kind of a good thing. If you watch too many series like me, Melly Bloom, then you won't be able to enjoy things as easily because your standards will be significantly higher, and you'll be able to see a train wreck coming from a mile away. So in a way, it's kind of not a bad thing. At the very least. No, you wouldn't. You would not be missing much not getting into the Negima and UQ Holder franchise. I didn't even read it, but I've heard issues about it. And yeah, UQ Holder definitely didn't really please a lot of people. And then you've got Negima. The one the author himself messed up by making an ending that was like, why did he do this? Yeah. I really don't have faith in the author. Yeah. I watched Love Hina. It was enjoyable. Apparently I watched it before it fell off the cliff, so hooray for me, I guess. Yeah, that one. I think it's that one. And then he did a sequel, kind of like a sequel series, UQ Holder. And he doubled down on all of his bad habits, too. So, with rushing all the fights in the last arc. So, the Negima author didn't learn from his mistakes. I'm trying to think of other writers who didn't learn from the mistakes, though. Oh, yeah, the writer Toriko. He didn't learn from his mistakes going into, like, his Builder manga. Can't forget about him. Yeah, Spy Family. Oh! The guy from Shokugeki no Soma. I forgot his name. Oh, thank you very much, Melly Bloom. But yeah, the guy from Shokugeki no Soma. Yeah, Spy Family is fun. I'm going to react to, in case you're wondering, I'm going to react to season 2. So if you want to see my live streams, Melly Bloom, Spy Family will be one of the few animes I will react to. So if you do watch Spy Family season 2, I will react to all those episodes. So just giving you a heads up, I will react to the series. So yeah, just a heads up. But yeah, that's why it's kind of, I guess in a way, it's kind of cool that you haven't watched that much because you can just avoid a lot of the bad series. But yeah, That's where I'm at with Precure. It was a fun episode, but my goodness, though. I bet you the villains will not. The villains will start to get slightly smarter in like the 40s. Until then, I expect them to act like fools when it comes to Precure. Completely. Woo, boy. But regardless, I had fun watching what I watched, and I'll definitely be there to check out the next episode. Y'all can actually bank on that. But anyways, they will definitely, man, Bloom. They will. And when you say half a brain cell, I think it'll be a combined half a brain cell between the Underground Empress and Scarehead. They'll both gain a quarter of a brain cell, and they'll be half combined. That's what their intelligence is going to be. But anyways, thank you very much, Maildo, and everyone else. And yeah, hope y'all have a great day too. No problem. It was fun making the video. Bye-bye, y'all.